I can never stop. When I was like, I don't want to stop. Hey, it is Freekbass, and thanks for being here with me on this Wednesday night bass talk. If this is your first time here, stopping by here on your Wednesday, I'm here every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. If you're watching at the Facebook page, please hit the share button to get it out to a lot of other people out in the world. Appreciate that. Also hit the sign up for live notifications. We're going live all the time. And if you're watching at YouTube, of course, you know what you do at YouTube. If you get a thumbs up, that'll be great. And if you can even hit the subscribe button, even better. I'm just starting to dip my toe into the world of YouTube, and I plan on getting a little bit more and more into it. Yeah, anything you can do to help, that would be awesome. I really appreciate it. We are here again every Wednesday night at 9. I'm talking about different bass techniques. We do, unboxings on this show. We talk about pedals. We talk about different song breakdowns. But tonight, on tonight's show, I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago on Wednesday Night Bass Talk, I talked about the flat 5 and how, for me, for creating bass lines, that was such an important note. It just created so much vibe, and it really helped shape a lot of my sound as not only as a bass player, but as a songwriter too. So I kind of wanted to jump back on that train, and that's what we're here to talk about tonight. Essentially, we're talking about the Dorian scale, which is really, I think, one of the funkiest modes there are. And that's for one reason. It's mainly because of one note, and that is because of the 6. The 6th note of the Dorian scale is a natural 6. So I don't know who knows what about, scales and modes and all kind of stuff, but just a quick little abridged rundown. I'm going to do a whole show specifically on modes, but basically modes are just a bunch of different scales based off of whatever key you're in. So let's use the key of C major. C major, the reason why I like explaining modes in the key of C is because C major has no sharps or flats. So if you're playing the modes and you happen to hit a sharp or flat, you're hitting a wrong note, right? So in C major, the notes in C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. No sharps, no flats, right? So the Dorian mode, which is the 2nd scale based off of C. So in other words, you're moving up to the 2nd note of C, which would be a D in this case, and you're playing from D to D with no sharps or no flats. Now, essentially, when you play it, it's almost like a minor scale. If you play it, you got D, E, F, G, A. Normally, you would have a B flat in the minor scale, but we're playing, because we're in the key of C in this case, B natural, C to D. And that one note change versus this to this adds so much vibe when you're writing bass lines. When I started playing out gigs a lot, I was, I had a pretty good awareness of modes and theory and stuff, but I used to have musicians tell me all the time, it's like, man, Freekbass, you sure love that Dorian mode. And I'm like, I don't know if I like the Dorian mode. Well, it's because I was using that natural 6 a lot. And so, like you heard me playing at the beginning of this, I was playing that bass line. So what I'm doing there, this is the case of E, so this would be E Dorian in this case. In a normal E minor scale, you would have a C for your 6th note. E, F sharp, G, A, B, C natural, C, D, D, E. But in this case, we've got that C sharp in there too as well, and that raised 6, which is the 6 if you're in the Dorian mode. It's really what gives everything that magic. Like if you think about, famous P-Funk song, We Want the Funk, we want the funk, gotta have that funk. What you're doing, if we were playing that in normal E minor, it would sound like this. Doesn't sound quite as cool as It's like that raised 6 into that flatted 7. It's almost kind of like, becomes almost like a passing note. Like I'm on 6, but I'm going to pull you up to 7th, you know. And it's such a great note. So, you know, what I would suggest to you as a bass player as you're writing lines, just experiment with that. You know, in the Dorian key, you know, just first off, you know, learn the Dorian scale. And the easiest way to think of it, it's a minor scale with a raised 6. So no matter what, you know, you don't necessarily think Dorian. Just think of like, hey, I'm playing a minor. Like, let's say if I'm in the key of A. Here's a normal A minor scale. I'm sure everybody knows this pattern. If you don't, it's just starting on whatever note you're on. It's in terms of fingers, 1 3 4 1 3 4 1 3, like that. That's the normal A. But if you do A, if it was A Dorian, which is based off of a G major, A B C D E F sharp G, like that. So you can do, and that's the case no matter what scale you're in. You know, in the case of E, I was doing it. Now, even like on the flat 5 note that I talked about a couple weeks ago, that raised 6, you can even like, I think it even sounds cool almost when you, like say if I'm playing E, like that, and if you even like, I love the sound of just even like the overtone of hitting a major 6, when I'm hitting that E string, you know, that, so you have kind of a minor feel groove, but you got that, so, you know, like something like I was doing, I'll go back to that groove I was doing a second ago. I mean, that sounds pretty dissonant, but I love, I mean, to me, that's a funky sounding. It's just so nice to me. It's a really, I love that. To me, like, you know, it's funny because, and not to go down a different rabbit hole, but I was lucky enough to do a tour with the Bootsy a few years ago, did as a tribute to James Brown, put all the original James Brown band together. And at that time, Catfish was still around, his brother, you know, quintessential funk guitar player of all time. And I got to watch Catfish play every single night. And what made Catfish so funky, it just wasn't just his, I mean, his rhythm was, of course, incredible. And, you know, that was mesmerizing and hypnotic enough. But it was also the note choices that he chose. It wasn't, that's what made it funky, too. And so your note choices, whether you're playing, you know, whatever style of music, country, rock, funk, hip hop, those note choices, that they become almost your signature or part of your style. And just like the flat 5, to me, is a big part of my songwriting thing, like little go-to notes. The raised 6 is one for me too as well. And again, it's just based off of the Dorian scale, minor scale with a raised 6. So, you know, I highly recommend just have fun with the Dorian scale. Again, if you want to, again, it's a minor scale. If we're in the key of D, minor scale, D, E, F, G, A, B natural. Now you can always do the D, B natural there, but I always like kind of doing it here because I always think of that raised 6 leading up to that minor 7. You know. Yeah, that's such a funky sounding note. I love that because you're going major to minor. That major to minor thing. We'll talk about thirds too. I want to get into thirds, minor to major thirds, about especially in the funk thing, especially in the New Orleans side of funk. They use that a lot. But I highly recommend that. So whatever key you're in, think minor scale, but raise that 6. And you will have all kinds of great stuff. All right, so check that out. Let me go out with a little bit. I did E before. I'm gonna do the D thing again. I'll kind of do what I was doing. Fix with this, right? everybody. Thank you. And hey, make sure you join me Saturday night Chit Chat. It's 9 p.m. Eastern Time at the Facebook Live page. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Facebook. I think we're hanging over on Twitter tonight, too, as well. We're here every Wednesday night playing the jams, some grooves, lots of bass, main tom.